Vivo is a brand that has always been known for their lifestyle phones, for the phones that are trendy and in fashion. That said, lately they've been focusing on the enthusiast market with phones like the Vivo X, Vivo V15, Vivo V11 and the Vivo Z1 Pro that came out very recently. That said, that part of Vivo is still somewhere there, and that is where the Vivo S1 originates from. This phone clearly makes anyone's mouth water when it comes to its looks and also packs in a very good package. But is it really worth buying? Well, let's find that out in this video. So hey there, Sreehari from Mr. Phone, and today we're going to do a full detailed review of the all new Vivo S1. The Vivo S1 is a true example of how the brand focuses on lifestyle, on how it looks and feels in your hand. This light tone phone is a treat to look at, and I don't know what it is about light tone phones, but light colored phones, but they just have this calm and serene feeling. The gradient is very reminiscent of one of my all-time favorite paint jobs, which is the breathing crystal on the Huawei P30 Pro. Along with that gradient, the back also has a pattern layer which is mostly visible when light falls on it at different angles, which makes the back look rather unique and premium. That said, what slightly takes away from that premium look is the glossy polycarbonate sides. I can understand why it's glossy to give it that stainless steel look, but glossy and polycarbonate never ever scream premium. That said, the in-hand feel in terms of ergonomics is not too bad. Even though it's flat, I quite like it. The buttons are clicky and placed well, although since the power button, the volume keys and the Google Assistant button are all the same texture and thickness, I often did get confused between them and press the wrong buttons. The display hides an in-display fingerprint scanner underneath, which is pretty damn fast, and Vivo, being one of the first brands that put out commercially available phones with in-display fingerprint scanners, is probably one of the reasons you have such a good in-display fingerprint scanner on the S1. There is face unlock too, and although there is this high resolution 32 megapixel front camera, it's still not as secure as your fingerprint scanner. The charging and data I/O is still micro USB. Of course, it's 2019. I would have liked to see USB Type-C, but it feels like Vivo is not willing to let go of micro USB. The single speaker isn't too loud and fails to provide a good multimedia experience. That said, the headphone jack seems to be of good quality, and even with just the inbox earphones that don't even have passive noise cancellation, I was able to get good sound quality. The Vivo S1 has a rather small notch, which is pretty common nowadays, and also comes in a form factor which can be called pretty common, and it would have been just another display if not for the Super AMOLED tag, and that tag itself is enough to impress me. AMOLED displays are better, period. There was a time when LCDs used to be brighter, but that time has long gone, and AMOLED displays have objectively become the better technology in almost every aspect. The display here is punchy, crisp, bright, and produces some inky blacks. The S1's panel also manages to keep the characteristic color shift to a minimum. It's among the better AMOLED panels that I've seen, and being able to say that for a phone under 20k is gold. My unit comes with a Widevine L3 certification because of course it's pre-production, but Vivo has confirmed that 100% all retail units will come with Widevine L1 certification. That being said, the punchy colors and deep blacks provide a very good experience when watching content online or playing games. And what I particularly like is that the size is quite manageable compared to the Vivo Z1 Pro, which was much bigger in size. It doesn't come with HDR support, which is not a surprise. Using this display outdoors was no problem, and low brightness also goes quite low. In short, I like the display, and it might be one of the best things on the Vivo S1. Coming to software, FunTouchOS from Vivo S1 is becoming more and more fun, and this time we see the dark mode making a return. And just like the Vivo Z1 Pro, the S1 also goes one step ahead, where it's not just the default apps and the UI that's dark, but third-party apps like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp all inherit the darker skin. Apart from that though, the FunTouchOS stays pretty much unchanged. It's built on top of Android 9 Pie, but you'll barely notice the new Android version because of the heavy skin. The AMOLED display is surely a better fit for dark mode, You get the very customizable always on display as well, which the Vivo Z1 Pro did not have due to the LCD panel. This always on display certainly makes a big difference when the phone is kept on a table, and it adds to that lifestyle aspect. The battery optimization of the OS is also quite good and is one of the biggest reasons it's able to take full advantage of that 4500 mAh battery inside. Vivo's FunTouch OS from a performance standpoint and an optimization standpoint is quite mature. That said, the way it feels and looks will still depend on personal preference. So my advice is find a friend or go to a store and use a Vivo phone for yourself and see how familiar you can get with it, or if you like it or not. Vivo's last phone, which was the Z1 Pro, actually stood out in the competition because of its Snapdragon 712 and the performance that it put out. When it comes to the S1, the performance is where it slightly lags behind. The Helio P65, which is a very powerful processor, doesn't stand tall amongst other phones in its price range. The Antutu score was somewhere around 144K, which is in between the Helio P60 and P70, but is lower than the Snapdragon 675, 710 and 712. Other benchmarks, as you can see on the screen, show a similar story. That said, I don't think I want to focus on how it stands performance-wise against the competition, mainly because it's not for that audience. It's a powerful processor, and for a daily user who is not a big gamer, the performance should feel pretty good, and it did for me because I am not a big gamer. The S1 is built for the lifestyle crowd, for someone who wants a compact phone that looks good and has impressive optics. That said, the performance is good, and for the people who do play some PUBG, here is a gameplay, and as you can see, the device does handle the game pretty well, so don't worry. For those casual gaming sessions, the phone should be pretty much ready. The S1 uses eMMC 5.1 storage inside with read speeds of around 390 megabytes per second and write speeds, sequential write speeds of course, of 192 megabytes per second, which are neither impressive nor bad. The RAM performance is actually quite impressive. We do get 6 gigs inside, and that does shine through. Apps stay in memory much longer, and it almost never closed an app in the background, or at least not one that I was still using. Now coming to cameras, the S1 comes with a single camera at the front and triple cameras at the back. The front camera is 32 megapixels and is actually higher in resolution compared to the back cameras combined, all three of them. So on the front you get 32 megapixel, on the back you get 16 megapixel primary camera, an 8 megapixel ultra wide lens and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. When it comes to performance, just like the resolution, the front camera is actually much better than all three back cameras combined. The 32 megapixel selfie camera clicks some super detailed pictures along with good colors even in indoor lighting conditions. That front camera performance also shines in selfie videos. There are dynamic range issues in a few situations, but those situations are rare. The pictures that come out of the selfie camera are absolutely to kill for. The back cameras are comparatively lackluster and produce less than impressive images. The cameras are not bad by any standards, they're still good colors and details, but the phone's front camera itself gives them tough competition. The S1 shoots only up to 1080p using the back camera, and there seems to be no stabilization there as well. The Vivo S1 is certainly not a photographer's phone, but for the selfie focused crowd out there, I think the S1 is a very, very good choice. The Vivo S1 comes with a 4500 mAh battery, and it's absolutely commendable considering the compact size of the phone. Also, the fact that the only other recently released phone that beats this one in battery size is the brand's own Z1 Pro, which is quite reassuring. The battery life is equally long, and since I could not get screen on time in the settings, I did a full 100% to 0% run, and I averaged around 30 to 32 hours with that testing. That is very impressive considering that this phone mostly packs in non-power user features. I think the battery life should impress anyone. And add to that the even more impressive 18 watt dual engine fast charger from Vivo, which gave me an average of about 1 hour 50 minutes to 2 hours for a full 0 to 100% charge on that 4500 mAh battery, which is again awesome. And I think with battery life, there'll be very few people that the Vivo S1 won't be able to impress. Coming to call quality and network performance, the S1 is spotless. In metro, in closed spaces, buildings, it's no problem for the S1. The cellular network performance is also pretty good, and I was able to get good signal strength in most places. The Vivo S1 is a great phone, and I think it truly stands apart from the Z1 Pro when it comes to the way it was designed. The AMOLED display, the eye-catching beautiful design, the compact form factor, and a selfie camera that would put a lot of back cameras to shame. I think this phone screams an experience that is for people who want to stay trendy, who want a phone that looks stylish, but also want an affordable price tag to that. And I think this is a phone that I would probably buy for my mom. Under 20,000, I don't think there are a lot of phones that compare to the S1, and that is not because there are not better performing phones out there. It's just that this is for a different market. But I think the phone that comes to my mind, which is the closest to this one, only because of how it looks and how compact it is the Realme X. Now that has a full screen display. That's also a Super AMOLED display, and it's a full screen one, so there's no notch. And that also has very good back cameras, but compared to the S1, this one looks much flashier and much more stylish. I think personally that's a little bit subtler, and this has a much better battery performance. That said, coming to selfies, both are equally competent. Apart from that, I don't think phones like the Redmi Note 7 Pro, the Realme 3 Pro, the Huawei Y9 Prime even for that matter, compare to the S1, because those are for the power user market. This is, as I said, for the lifestyle, for the trendy, for the stylish one. In the end, I'd say that the Vivo S1 is a great phone and puts forth a desirable experience. It might just not be for everyone. And with that, I leave you to it. Thank you so much for watching. This was the full review of the Vivo S1. Let me know what you thought of this in the comment section below. Let me know if you want us to add or subtract anything from our reviews. We'd like to listen to what you guys think about our reviews. I think apart from that, I think I had fun shooting this video. Thank you so much for watching. This is Sreehari from Mr. Phone, and I'll catch you in the next one.